Hey, it's Nashi55. This is going to be a video on the Ka-Bar knife that I recently bought. Wanted to show you it and give you a little bit of information on it. I've always liked the Ka-Bar knife, the look of it, the history of it. So I decided to get one for maybe like a survival bag knife, and started looking around and wanted one that was made by the original company, not an imported reproduction. There's lots of versions out there. You can get standard models, commemorative models, but I wanted the standard model that was basically similar to what was issued to the troops. Prices vary a lot on them. Standard models are more in the $50 range, all the way up to over $100, depending on the style you get and the sheath that comes with it. So you can shop around if you're interested in one. I'll show you what I have. Just the camera down. Comes with a little pack of oil and a little catalog too. The blade is covered in a cardboard little piece of protective cover there. So that's it. That's the Ka-Bar knife. This one is the full size, so it's got a 7-inch blade. Overall length is 11 7/8 inches. The thickness of the blade is a 1/8 of an inch. Has a leather handle. As you can see, the blade has a dark finish to it, pretty black finish. That's supposed to help reduce corrosion or prevent rust. Also kind of an anti-glare finish. Has a fuller to it that gives the blade some extra strength. Might lighten the blade a little bit. I don't know if you'd really ever notice any difference in that if you're actually just holding it. The handle's nice. It's got a good shape to it. As you can see, it's thick in the middle and tapers down at the ends. My hands are just average size, but I have a nice thick handle to hold on to. If your hands are bigger, you can see you still have plenty of room. Little piece up here to help protect your hand. I got the one with a serrated edge. I thought that would be a nice feature if you needed to cut rope or branches or anything like that. If you're in a survival situation, it'd be a nice thing to have to the knife. The sheath that comes with it is pretty good quality too. It's leather. It's got some good stitching on it. These look like rivets to help hold it together. As you can see, it's got the Ka-Bar logo, Marine logo, and USMC. The knife also has USMC there. And there's Ka-Bar and Olean, New York, where it's made. The knife slides in pretty easy if I turn it the right way. Hard to do it while I'm trying to film too. It's got a snap here to keep it secure, place for your belt to go through. So that's what it looks like in the sheath. It's made out of 1095 Kroven steel. Like I said, the the handles leather, and I think the whole thing, including the plate here, is made out of that same steel. So overall, it's a very nice knife. It's got a good shape to the blade. Probably handle most any situation you needed. You can get shorter models. Just plain models without the serrations, different tips, so there's a lot of different versions out there. The company has a catalog. I'll just show you it real quick. A lot of different knives. If you're looking for the same style, they have a lot of different versions. Commemorative ones too. So if you want to shop around, they even have stuff there for hatchets and camping knives. There's a couple other types. A lot of different versions. You can certainly shop around and find one that would fit your needs and price range. There's some other types of knives. Basically, the Ka-Bar's history is pretty interesting. I mean, I won't go into too much of it. There's a lot out there that you can find online, but the company that we know today is Ka-Bar. Can trace its origins back to about 1897, and the company was based out of Olean, New York, where it is now. And in the 20s, the Ka-Bar name was actually trademarked by the company. So by the 1940s, that company, called Union Cutlery, had submitted a fighting knife design to the U.S. Marines. Apparently the Marines weren't very happy with the knives that they had in service at that time. But the knife that was submitted wasn't really satisfactory, so some modifications were recommended by the Marines, and by 1945 they had a design that was acceptable. So it was produced by a lot of different companies during the war and was also accepted for service by the Navy and the Army. And by 1952, the Ka-Bar name was actually so well known that the company changed the company name to Ka-Bar. And since then they went through some ups and downs. The company has been through some bankruptcies, new owners, but the current owners owned it since the late 90s, and they produce, like I showed you there, a lot of different versions, still built in Olean, New York, and they've expanded the line to include all those different knives. So looks like they're doing pretty well now. The Ka-Bars are still in use by the military, and I like the history of it, and wanted to have one of my own to keep in a survival bag. So that's part of the reason I got one. So if you have a opportunity to get a Ka-Bar, shop around, find one that you'd like. A lot of different versions out there. Pick one. You can get ones like this with the Marine Corps emblems, or you can get Navy, Army. So pick one that you would like to have, and I'm sure you'd enjoy it. So this is Nashi55 signing off the review of a Ka-Bar knife.